most recent chapter of Black Clover, chapter 303, Glad Tidings, might just be one of the best chapters this series has to offer. It delivers some of the highest quality of art I've ever seen from Tabata, as well as the much needed full backstory on Nozel's situation. It explains why he told no one about what actually happened with his mom, why he treated Noel so bad, and even why he has that pendant at the end of his braid, which I never questioned why it was there, or even really cared to know, but now that I do know, I like the pendant and Nozel even more. If there's one complaint I'd have to give though, it would be that the chapter was just a tad bit too short. It's only about 15 pages long, and while the explaining side of things is fully fleshed out, the action in the chapter feels short and, dare I say, rushed. But that's not to say that the action that we did get was terrible or anything, because it wasn't. But I feel like if there were 1, 2, or 3 more pages fully focused on the action, that would have been the icing on the cake and made the chapter a 10 out of 10 for me. But anyways, let's start at the beginning of the chapter and make our way from there, shall we? So, this chapter opens up instantly with the Nozel backstory, or flashback. We'll just stick with backstory for now. So, it opens up with that, and within the first 2 pages, we learn why Nozel didn't tell everyone what happened to his mother. Or really, I should say, what was causing her condition to deteriorate. But he didn't tell anyone because he himself was actually cursed as well. The chapter goes more in depth with this and says that when the curse warding spell was cast on Aesir, Nozel was hit with the secondary effect. He could not tell anyone that Megicula had a hand in Aesir Sylvia's death, or he would die as well. And if he tells anyone about it, the person he told will also be struck with this curse, the secondary effect curse, not the main one that Aesir got. Now, when I first read this caught me completely off guard. Nozel being cursed wasn't even something I had considered this entire time, because I remember the whole scene with Dorothy and Noel, and Dorothy had told her that she couldn't talk about the devil that killed her mom because she'll get cursed. So I thought that that was the thing. That was why he didn't really or couldn't really talk about it with anyone, since it would lead to him being cursed. But no, he already was cursed. That's kinda wild. Nozel really been suffering the entire time, and nobody knew just how much he was, because he couldn't say anything. Speaking of his suffering, though, you really get to see that in full effect in the backstory, because after his mother is cursed, he becomes obsessed with trying to help her, spending every waking moment trying his hardest to find a way to break the curse, and we see what that obsession does to him in one particular panel. Well, it's really two, but bro, it is a sight to see. He is at wit's end, completely drained and looking like a zombie. He actually looks worse than his mother. But even though Nozel was putting in all this effort, as we all know, unfortunately, he couldn't do anything to save her, and she ended up dying a year after she was struck with the curse. During her funeral, though, Nozel's mind was on one thing, and it wasn't about his mom's death, it was about the need to get stronger. Strong enough to avenge his mother and defend his siblings. The chapter then goes to said siblings, first to Nebra and Solid, where he says that they are strong, but they'd be no match for an opponent like Megicula. Then it goes to Noel, and for this bit, I'm just gonna straight up, for the most part, just read the next couple of pages, because they're pure gold. And after he talks about Noel, the chapter then transitions to the fight, which is what I'll talk about after, so it's perfect, and here I go. Nozel starts off by saying, if there's no chance she'll get stronger, she obviously being Noel, it would be best to just shut her away. The chapter then shows an image of Nozel being extremely harsh to her, before going back to his inner thoughts, where he continues saying, if she's just going to end up feeling the way I do, I should distance her from this fight. Another image is then shown of Nozel being even more harsh. He asks, why did his mother have to give birth to someone like her, and that she is the reason their mother died. But when we once again switch back to his psyche, Nozel reveals what he truly believes, saying, no, I killed her. I'm useless. I couldn't do a thing. I was afraid of losing more and I ran. I'm a coward. I'm not confident or determined enough to protect anything. At this point, I have no right to involve myself with you. Before I continue reading, I got a question I want to ask you all. Who do you think has the saddest backstory in Black Clover? For me, I think it's gotta be Nozel. Noct is one that is pretty sad, but Nozel's is just heartbreaking because there was literally nothing he could do about his situation, and it all started when he was just a little kid. My man's been suffering for years. But now back to the reading. So Nozel tells himself that he needs to get stronger for the sake of the time that's bound to come. The chapter then comes to present day when he is face to face with Megicula. He then proceeds to tell himself, with all the conviction in his heart, that everything he's ever had or been is going into this attack, while at the same time telling the devil that at last they meet again. Man, Nozel is not only the greatest captain, but he is also one of the greatest characters ever created within the world of Black Clover. He's easily top 3. It's not even a question. But anyhow, let's get back to this battle between Megicula and Nozel. Now, this part of the chapter is really where Tabata's art gets insane. The level of detail in the action that's on display is absolutely incredible. This man keeps getting better and better with his art with every week. The best looking panel of the chapter for me has to be when Nozel gets the upper hand due to his magic attribute and then demolishes Megicula's body. That piece of artwork is godly. To tie back into the story though, despite destroying her body, Nozel is unable to finish the job. He cannot destroy the heart of a supreme devil. He then admits to himself that he was wrong after all. He shouldn't have kept her away. He shouldn't have shut her out of this fight. They should have grown stronger together. Nozel then releases Noelle from the Mercury shield and she destroys Megicula's heart in epic fashion. Just 2 slices, bro, making a beautiful cut, or cuts I should say. Megicula then fades away, but before the chapter ends, in a really touching moment, Aesir's ghost, or spirit, or energy, something like that, shows up and gives her children one final hug and tells them both that they really have grown strong before fading away into nothingness. Suck it, Nebra and Solid, you ain't getting no hugs! But jokes aside, that scene was an absolute slapper of emotion, bro. That hit me right in the heart. With all that said, though, I believe that's going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe with the notifications on, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody!